I've tried to maintain this, me being kind of hippie thing, for the duration of the time I've lived here. And it's like I'm a snail carrying its home on its back. There isn't the outside reinforcement of that. It's not like I'm part of a culture of people who do that, which would be great for me to do. And when I went to the World Rainbow Gathering in 2000, it felt incredible. For a month I lived there and camped there, and just I was with my people. It felt incredible. It felt wonderful. And then I left that, and I didn't really come back, except for momentarily, going to Berkeley every once in a while, or going to Kiva and Santa Cruz, or hanging out with Paul. Paul's been really good. A really good friend for me to have to just explore that part of myself. Not explore it, but just experience it. Have a chance to... I love it when it's like, it's Paul and I, and we bring in a third person, and they're just kind of like shocked and overwhelmed by just the cultural norms that Paul and I have of just, being comfortable with nudity, and being comfortable with like taking a really long time to do something, or planning to do something, but then just being so attentive to the world around us that we'll just get fascinated by the banana slug eating the mushroom or something, and it doesn't matter that we're not doing what we plan to do. That's not a perfect description of what I've had with Paul, but I think it gives one a flavor of it. And yeah, I really appreciate that Paul's been there. But anyway, it'd be great for my development to go to a place where I'm not alone in doing that, where I'm, in a culture of people who are doing that. And I'm helping build something together with people who are doing that. And I should live at a co-op. And here I am 30 years old and I've never done that. And here I am 30 years old and I've never done whatever. Anything I do now is me starting late. Yeah, so Christina hugged me. That felt good. I'm certainly attracted to Christina, but I think it's really just, she's very attractive physically, and there probably isn't like a clicking there of personalities or anything. It's just whatever, but it is certainly something that's present for me when I'm interacting with her, and that's probably why it was more powerful for me to feel hugged by her, to be hugged by her, whatever. It just felt like... But anyway, Christina does have a boyfriend, and of course I don't want to disturb that, and even if she didn't, there isn't that kind of clicking together that there should be. It was just me being overwhelmed by just how physically attractive she is. So whatever, but it did feel really good. I mean, to be to be loved, to be accepted, to be whatever. It felt really good. It felt redeeming to me, redeeming of me, reassuring of value, maybe. I would really like to have sex again. The hug was powerful for me because she was basically saying, I trust you. That's what it was for me. She was saying, the image of the snail carrying its home on its back fits for me in a few different ways. Since this thing happened a couple years ago, there's been this negative public image of me that's been really hard, and the idea of myself as being somebody who has a lot of integrity, who, is moral and caring and, essentially altruistic and selfless. I mean, I think nobody's probably selfless, and to claim that one is selfless is perhaps unhealthy, or so. But essentially, I basically, just kind of as a useful way of thinking about it, that's essentially, I think, a good way of characterizing me, and that's an accurate picture of who I am. But just not having that reinforced by other people saying that about me for so long. I mean, yes, people who know me, of course, feel that way about me, but it's not reinforced on a daily basis. And so I've been having to carry that with me, despite it not being reinforced in the outside world. And when you have sex with somebody, if it's at all meaningful, what you're essentially saying is, I trust you, and I believe in your goodness. It's like, it's a physical way of expressing love for another human being. And you're saying to the person you're having sex with that you are good enough, that good and beautiful, and you don't want to be with somebody who's evil, right? You want to be with somebody who's the opposite of evil. You want to be with somebody who is good. And I think on a basic level, what makes you want to be with somebody is you see them as being beautiful. You see them as, when you love somebody, you are affirming their value and their basic goodness, and their beauty and whatever, right? You can't have sex with somebody and think that there's something bad about that person. Or I guess you can. I think people do that. Like, certainly when it gets trivialized to like prostitution or whatever, I think that maybe you can even hate somebody you're having sex with or something, but just on a physiological level, just, the part of the brain that gives you the feeling of love and is connected to the sexual experience, and just I'd like to feel that again. I'd like somebody to be telling me that they trust me, that they see me as good, that they love me, by sharing a sexual experience with me. That would help me feel really good. Yeah, I had a sexual dream with Julia, anyway, and prior to that dream, I hadn't really been thinking about her in a sexual way, but now that I did have that dream, I'm just kind of interested in checking that out. But again, she's somebody who I've had very, very little personal experience with. It was surprising to me that she came up in my dream. But it was cool. It was a good dream. It was just like, we, for whatever reason, we're naked sitting in a room together doing work or something. And I expressed interest in her body. Like, I wanted to like, she was sitting cross-legged, and I wanted to like look down and at her vagina. At first she was like, oh. And I'm like, well, it's just, appreciation, and I'm being loving by doing that and whatever. Well, no, I wasn't defending myself or anything, but I was like, is that okay if I'm, appreciating you? And she's all, well, yeah. And then we actually started being sexual with each other, and it just felt really good in the dream. So I would like that. My belief about the antidepressant, and I guess I kind of hope to be proven wrong, but my belief about it is that what I'm doing is I'm shifting the balance away from me, and I'm shifting it toward work I can do in the world. When I remember when I was on an antidepressant before, it seemed like I wasn't there. Well, here's a phone call. I think I'll answer it. Thanks for your time.